Hello! Stalcraft just received a pretty big artifact and container rebalance. We got some new backpacks and containers, so I thought it would be helpful to rate all of them and recommend some good options for beginners and advanced players. The most important change is that now every armor is compatible with every container and backpack. After the patch, on average, every artifact gives more statistics, some armors gained extra bullet resistance, so the time to kill is now a bit longer. Both action rifles might need a tiny buff because of that, so we will see what happens. Also, one of the devs already mentioned that speed builds are a bit too ridiculous now, so they will probably get nerfed, so be prepared for that. But never mind, back to the topic. When rating containers, it's important to think about the maximum effectiveness, which we can calculate by multiplying the number of artifact slots and the effectiveness. What we get in result is pretty much how many statistics the container can offer. It's not that simple because we also have to think about protections and extra statistics on some of them, but it's a good starting point. So let's start with the SMC Container. It offers 4 slots for a total of 480 effectiveness, the highest protection of all containers at 95%. It's an overkill. There are containers with less protections that still don't require any counter artifacts. It's clearly meant for beginners as a cost-effective option with small number of slots but high effectiveness per slot. For beginners, however, I think backpacks are a better choice. D tier. Next we have the Secret Valley Backpack. 6 slots but only 60% protections, meaning we will need a counter RT and our build options will be quite limited. It also offers 70 carry weight, which is not really necessary, especially since a lot of new players should consider using the Mule exoskeleton. But even if you're not using it, you still should clean up your inventory if you think you need this much carry weight. D tier. Then we have a container that I actually still use. Hive used to be extremely popular because it was the biggest barter container compatible with every armor. 5 slots, 525% effectiveness, protection is good enough to not need any counter artifacts. It's overshadowed by new and better options, but if you own a build for it, you don't need to rush to quickly swap it. Eventually you'll have to, but it's not terrible. C tier. Apiary Container is something I found in the database. It's not currently obtainable, but maybe we'll get it in the future. It's pretty much a legendary version of Hive, with 600 total effectiveness. A bit disappointing for a legendary item that will probably be expensive to get. If it was released in this way, I would rate it at B tier. Utility Vest is the most budget-friendly backpack. Only 4 slots, the worst total effectiveness of all the options in the game, but by default it gives 35 carry weight and 5.7% movement speed. Same protections as Hive, so it's very easy to make a build for it. I think it's the best option for new players. If you are still a beginner, you should get this backpack. Very high in the B tier. Coffine Backpack comes with only 5 total effectiveness less than Secret Valley, but comes with 35 carry weight, better protections and only 5 slots. It's a more reasonable option for beginner players, so let's put it in B tier. Berloga 6 used to be the most popular container before the reworks. Still very solid, but we got some better options now. B tier. Zivcas Arctic Safe used to be the only 6-slot container available for combat armors. It got buffed because it no longer gives negative movement speed, but it's not enough to make it viable. I think devs overestimate a bit how strong frost artifacts are, especially if we take into account how expensive and difficult to get they are at high rarities. It costed 1500 act tickets, so if we consider how expensive it is, it will sit at D tier. However, I'm only going to rate how strong the container itself is, so let's put it in B tier as well. Overton is pretty much the same story, except that 31.3% healing effectiveness is straight up better than frost protections. And it was pretty much the best container in the game, to the point that I would say it was a hidden legendary item. Now we got better options, but it's still very good. A tier. If you started playing in the middle of the act and you have no chance of getting enough act tickets for a legendary item, you should consider buying Overton. barrel is a new barter container that comes with 7 slots and 647.5% total effectiveness. Protections are pretty bad, so trying to find a good set of artists might be annoying, but the most optimal builds are going to be slightly better than, for example, a tanky build in Overton. And when it comes to speed builds, they are going to be a pretty significant upgrade compared to Berloga. When I tried upgrading my speed build, it would gain around 5% movement speed. But for example, I lost stamina and gained some unrelated stats. It would be expensive because I can't put all of my bracelets with these weaker protections, so I didn't upgrade yet. It's one of the best containers, A tier. During the anniversary we had the option to buy a mystery box, and it turns out players managed to guess that it would be actually a new container. Sheaf Container offers the highest total effectiveness of 700%, 7 slots and bad protections. We also can't use Frost Artists with it, so it's even more limiting than Barrel, but I think it's still better than it. I have to put it in S tier. It's way better than the Scara L that I tested in this video, but I'm happy for everyone who took a risk and decided to buy a box. The guys are eating good. Berloga 6U used to be available from Gamba boxes, so quite a lot of players owned it. Back then it was a tradable copy of Berloga 6, but it got buffed to a legendary item and Expo replaced it with a standard Berloga 6, so currently no one owns this item. It's unobtainable. I think we might be able to get it soon, maybe next act? We don't know yet, but if it comes out with its 684% effectiveness, it will be an S tier item. Finally, we have Chitin, the only legendary backpack in the game. 690% total effectiveness and 40 extra carry weight. Even bad protections are not a huge downside because we only need to fill 6 slots. The best option out of this entire list. I'm definitely getting it this act. Let's place it at the top of the S tier. Tell me in the comments if you would rate some of the items higher or lower, share your favorite builds so people can check them out, and if you liked this video, please consider checking the rest of my channel. Bye.